Hello, Gary Hernandez here, and welcome to Cane Self-Defense with Master Gary Hernandez. With me is Bob, and Mr. Bob here is going to work some techniques with me. We had a viewer over in the UK, his name is Big Tony, and Big Tony asked me to go over a couple techniques. What do you do when you're on a bus? Well, what we're going to do right now is we're going to cover different forms of transportation. Now, we're going to basically be talking if you're sitting on a bus, you're on a subway, you're on a train, you're on something where you're sitting down, and we're going to move these chairs and do different variations of a bus or a subway. And the first one we're going to do is when you're sitting next to somebody who starts to get aggressive. You've got chairs in front of you, you've got some seats behind you. Then we're going to do another one where you're sitting, maybe there's a bigger aisle and you have a seat between you. And then we're going to cover another one when you're sitting and you happen to have the front area in front of you clear where people can hang on. So we're going to go ahead and go over some techniques and discuss that. Now, what you have to remember about a bus or anything with transportation, when it's moving, it could be moving pretty quickly. So if you have bad balance and you happen to try to get up to defend yourself on a vehicle that's moving, maybe it's starting to turn, maybe it's going to slow down, maybe it's going to speed up, you don't know because you're not really driving the vehicle yourself, so you may not see what's coming up. So when you stand up, you got to be careful that you may end up losing your balance because of the vehicle moving at a high rate of speed. So we're going to cover a little bit of that as we're working. Now, first thing, if I'm sitting next to somebody and I have my cane here, this is a two-seater right now, and a lot of buses, they have two seats, two seats, two seats, two seats. I've seen rarely three, and then when you're sitting on to where people are holding their handrails, you have a row of seats in front, especially on a subway. But right now we're talking about two seats. I've got a seat in front of me, which means that when I lift my cane, I'm not going to be able to go that way. I could have seats behind me, or I could have a wall behind me. So if I come up like that, I'm going to hit something. And again, I could have a wall here. I could be boxed in. So we don't know the situation. So here we go. I happen to be here, this individual. Now, if this individual starts to grab me, first thing I want to do is I'm going to move my cane to my other hand and bring this hand up. So he might grab this hand now. From here, then I'm simply going to smash him into the face. That's a quick, simple technique. If he starts to grab me and he's aggressive, I'm going to move my cane away from him. This hand's going to come up. Why does this hand come up? For number one, if I can smack him with my own hands, absolutely. But when he starts to grab me, I might start to go for my cane. Now, if he's got a hold of that hand, I put the cane in the other hand. I'm going to move this hand a bit to get it moving so he grabs on or does something, and then I'm going to strike him into the face, all right? All right, so we got your protective shields on, cane. So again, he grabs, I go to the other hand. Now, from here, I'm going to simply smash to the face. Now, when I smash him in the face, if I get up, I'm going to try to hold on to something if this thing is moving quickly. And from here, I can hit him again if I need to. And I'm going to voice my opinion for help. Get this guy off me, help, Hopefully somebody stops the vehicle, people start to help me, intervene, stuff like that. But again, when he grabs, put it in your other hand. That way you can strike, you can hit. You may not I can't come up this way, so I have to come straight here and strike in. You got to take in consideration the tightness of a space. Now, if I happen to already have it in my other hand and he's reaching over for it, I'm going to move my body from here. I'm going to move and I'm going to lean into him. That's to try to push him back to allow me to strike again. And if I can elbow him, that's great. Elbow him. The cane's there for you to do what you got to do with, but use your other skills as well. It's in here, he's reaching for my cane. I'm going to grab that hand, smash him in the face. Just try to hit him as hard as I can. Again, I'm in a tight space. Let's say we're sitting in a 3-section. And I got an individual, have a seat. we have a seat. Let's say we're on a plane. There's that seat in between. And then we got lucky nobody sat there. When you're on a plane, if you have two in a section of three, you always know that they don't want to sit right next to you unless it's a family member or a loved one. And even then, do you really want to be on a plane for 5 hours with somebody next to you? No. So here I'm here again. Now, you got to remember, the plane, you don't have a lot of headroom, and that plane kind of curves up here, especially if you're on the window side. So again, let's say this individual gets mad. He's coming to grab you. Now, from here, you can't even, you're against that wall. So, and if you had that one section where your armrest is, you've got to try to get over that armrest and strike while you're yelling for help. Bring attention to you. You're on a plane. Trust me, people are going to get involved because they don't know what the hell's going on. And again, if you don't have that armrest down and he's trying to get a hold, grab on you, scoot that way and strike. Get away from that to find the area where they may beat you into that window area. So again, I'm here, he's trying to grab at me. I'm going his way and I'm striking. And I'm yelling for help to get this person off me. It's all about in close quarter combat when I'm in a really tight spot. I'm not going to be able to bring this cane up in the air and swing it. I can't. If you've been all in planes, you know they're kind of tight. When you stand up, you're about right here. So now we're going to go up and we're going to move this like this. Now we're on a bus or we're on a subway, and you got an individual here. Whoops, I'm going to have to raise that up so you can see it a little bit. Mr. Bob, would you go over there? And that comes apart easy, so I wouldn't pull too hard. All right. Now you got Mr. Bob, and he's holding on to one of those holders that are in a bus or subway. Let's go ahead and get this readjusted. You have to bear with us. Now, if I'm here and I got a problem with this individual, understand, we're still moving. He's already standing up. So if I try to get up, he's just going to shove me down. And there we go. So he's holding on to that. Now, why he's holding on to that, that's okay. My cane is kind of here. Matter of fact, let me go down so you can see this better. Slide you down a little bit, sir. So we're here. Now, if I have people next to me, you know, I gotta have some thought about them for a second that I don't hurt them. But because we're right here, and I got two hands right where this cane is, he starts to come in, I'm gonna lift up and go into his groin. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I shifted my hand low, I pulled and pushed down like a leverage. Like I'm doing a leverage pry. So he starts to come in into his groin. From there, I'm going to do a rifle strike to the face. You all right? So, no cuff, huh? All right, hold on. So he happens to be there again. As he starts to come in, he's coming in. I shift into the groin. We're in a tight area still because I may have people here. As I start to rise, I rifle strike, and I stand up. Now, I can also stun him. From here, he starts to come in with throw punch, hit to the knee, and then strike to the face. Now, again, I'm in close. I've got a piece of wood. I need to utilize this to where I'm going to get areas that are easy for me to cause some injury. Groin, knee, jawline, solar plex, anywhere it's going to get a good, because I'm not able to get a full wide swing because I'm in a tight area. So I got to work manipulation of in-close hits. So from here again, I can leverage, pull, and pop into that knee. From here, shift my hand down, strike to the face with the crook. So I can also strike to the knee and then rifle strike to the face or to the throat. If he bends down, I can catch him in the nose area, the mouth area. From here again, I'm not going to be able to come up and do this strike. I've got a windows here from the bus. Again, I may have people here. It's not going to be no good to come up and smack this person by accident trying to hit this person. I'm in trouble. So I have to look at what my target areas are. Groin, knee. Now, I can, go ahead, go back. As he starts to come in, if he starts to grab, shoot straight up into the face. And understand, that's a pop-up. It's not a knockout. I don't care. You're trying to give him an uppercut with a cane. It's a piece of wood. It is going to hurt. But it's not going to have the devastating power when you're sitting down that you think it's going to have. It's going to stun him. It's going to hurt. But that's about as far as you're going. It's not like you're swinging your whole body into it. So what I'm going to do is he's coming in. It's going to stun him. Then I'm going to get up. From here, I can A, strike or rifle strike again. Remember, you're in close. You're trying to make the most out of what hits you're going to be able to do. Again, you cannot come up with full swings. Number one, if you try to do a full swing, he's going to grab your cane. And yes, he is. If you don't think he isn't, he's going to, because I would grab your cane. Number two, I'm going to hit the window, and I'm not going to have a good striking area. So from here, if he starts to grab, I can bring my hands upward. Hopefully he grabs one hand, and then I can strike into the throat enough to make him gurgle. And then as I come up, my manipulation is whipping my hip and shoulders into a strike. Look, I can see that.
Yeah.
Right in. Come on in. Yeah. So from here, he starts to come in. Pop. Pop. Just like that. You've got to get up and manipulate. Right now, he's got one hand holding it. Now, if he tries to kick at me, I'm going to put my cane up. Can I kick? I'm going to put my cane up. And yes, it's going to catch his shin. He's going to kick. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to give him a quick tap. Notice the maneuvering. Again, why am I worried about him kicking? Because he is already standing, holding on to that. That's giving him a little, that little strap that he hangs onto, thank you. That's going to give him a little bit of a leverage and balance. Now he can try to throw. If I'm just sitting here, he's holding on, he's kicking. He's just throwing that kick. He's got a good kick now, and I'm low, which means he's going to kick me in the face, maybe into the body. So when he's down, he starts to kick. I'm going to catch that wood, hit his shin, then hit him into the face. And once I'm here, if I have the room, what I'm going to do is shift, and then I can strike. Again, making sure my horn is not going to catch me. So, on this one here, we have, as he comes in, I have striking upward, coming in, striking. He starts to come at me, shift into the groin, smacking. He comes at me, into the groin, rifle strike. He starts to throw a kick into the shins, hitting and maneuvering. Remember, hip and shoulder action. It's in tight. Everything is in tight. So you want to be able to fight in tight. Now, if we're sitting, he's sitting right there, and I'm here. And again, we have an area now here. If the bus is moving, he starts to stand up. As I get up, I'm going to hit him. Now what I did, because I don't know if the camera blocked that, as he started to stand up, I stood up, smacked him toward the seat area. And then from there, I can bounce in or come in tight. Again, I'm in a traveling bus or subway. Remember, subways and planes, they tend to curve, which is going to make it more tight, closed quarters. Big Tony, I've never been on a London bus or a double-decker, maybe one day, so I don't know how tight those are. But I've been on a bus in Florida, and I've been on subway in New York, so I kind of know how they are. Now you have to remember, you've got poles. You have sometimes armrests that come up higher and sometimes petitions. So you have to realize your strikes could get blocked or disrupted when you hit something. So if you happen to hit a pole, you're going to have to reshift. So make sure you work everything in tight. So hopefully those techniques help. Remember, get used to flipping it, moving it. If you have to stand up, a quick strike and try to move where you can. But remember, you might have some motion from the vehicle moving. So hopefully that helps. Gary Hernandez, thank you. And we will see you guys very soon.